We are continuing to follow the latest developments out of Ukraine. The energy market front and center. Crude oil moving higher again today as tensions flare with Russia. Let's bring in Paul Sankey of Sankey Research to discuss. Paul, great to have you with us. What's your, the last time I talked to you, it was sort of early on in this skirmish, this potential invasion. We saw oil prices spike basically, and you sounded sort of skeptical about the whole thing. What do you make of the situation now? And what do you make of the spike in oil that has been a result of it?
I think that we see maybe a trading opportunity here to short oil, actually, because I think the next thing that happens is short oil, the commodity, because I think the next thing that happens is you get an Iranian nuclear deal. As far as Putin goes, if you look back, actually, it was kind of predicted in funny ways that you can now see that he would invade kind of yesterday. It's not really an invasion. It's sort of, affirming positions where there are already so-called separatist troops. If you look at the map, it's right at the east of Ukraine. And there's one theory that actually he declares victory tomorrow because it's a major day, Grand Army Day in Russia. So we'll see what happens with all of that. But as you know, the response has been pretty lame from the West. And essentially, it looks like there's no interest in him, in our view, going over to Kiev and beyond. That would be a disaster for him. That's where they'll actually fight him. But for this bit, it's kind of in line, as you say, with what we thought would happen. And as you remember, we said we thought oil was moving to an 80 to 120 range. And now at whatever we're at, 95 a barrel. And, I think if we get an Iranian deal, which is likely what the administration is working on as one response here, a big one, you could easily see oil trade off a few dollars.
Paul, you've been spot on with all this. I remember last time you were on, I think you mentioned Marathon Petroleum. I think it was trading $67. I think collectively we thought it could get to 85. It got close. But I'm with you on this one. I think this is a classic buy the rumor, sell the news. But how cute do you want to be? Because I think the fundamentals still line up for crude to get to 110, 120 at some point this year.
Yeah, thanks for helping me out there. It's a cute call. This is a call that, when we get the news of the Iranian deal, which the Wall Street Journal has said is going to be within, they said yesterday it's going to be within a couple of days, then actually we would probably be looking immediately to buy straight back in. Because as you know, the big story here, further to what you're saying about Home Depot and U.S. plays, is the U.S.'s story, the U.S. oil demand story is unlike anything I've ever seen. It is so strong. We're at all-time record highs. We're growing by all-time record increments. And once oil demand is strong, you want to be long oil and long oil stocks, that's for sure. And that's where we'll start the trajectory back to the 120 I'm talking about. So thanks for that.
In terms of the shorter-term call, Paul, if you're inclined to short oil, the commodity, would the commensurate call be to short energy equities?
No, because I've noticed today the equities had a bad day. That's another buying opportunity. And we've had another good result tonight. Diamondback, FANG, stock we love, had good results. If you remember, one of the trades I made was to be long FANG, Diamondback, and short FANG, the tech stocks. And that's been a huge trade. Things are going great. And we've still got a couple of big oils to report here. Avintiv should have blowout results. Oxy. These things, if you look at it, I screened it on Sunday. Of the bottom 25 cheapest stocks in the S&P 500, 6 of them are oils, and they're not oils you haven't heard of. We're talking about ConocoPhillips, we're talking about Devon, we're talking about Diamondback, these huge stocks that are really good plays, really good management, really good assets, and it's $95 a barrel. And I'm bullish. So yeah, the equities are great. It's just a cute trade if you want to make some money by next Friday. Short oil here, it's a hero trade, but a short term one.
All right, Paul, always good to see you. Thanks.
Thanks a lot.
Paul Sankey, Sankey Research. Tim, what do you make of Paul's call?
Acute, I guess, means short term. Last time, I guess.
I guess in Britishese.
Yes. We love listening to Paul, and I think his point on Iran is really interesting. I think the point on the U.S. E&P names, ConocoPhillips, Oxy, these names don't have any exposure to Russia. This is a great time for them. And if you look at what energy equities are doing relative to the energy or the Brent price, they're actually outperforming, and they've been doing that in the last 6 weeks or so. And that's something we haven't seen. I think that gets back to investment over trade or cute. But I think the other thing also is this is also a great time for chemical companies. So I think if you look at the spread of Brent to refined product, this is great for Dow. This is great for LyondellBasell. And I think there are other trades here, not just straight into the energy space.
Yeah. Di?
I'm with Tim. I mean, I guess I didn't mean to be cute when I said cute. My point was, sometimes you can get a little too clever and outsmart yourself. But I happen to think that he's spot on here. I think there's a window where you could get short the commodity for a $5 to $7 pullback. Inevitably, I think this thing goes higher. But you stay long, I think, the underlying equities, which I think both Tim and Paul were saying.